G'day guys, my name's Ben and this is my 2016 STI, and today I've upgraded from my 2016, my original multifunction screen, to the facelifted multifunction display screen from the facelifted 2018 and onwards WRX STIs. This one has a bigger screen and a better user interface, and I thought, why not? But this does vary depending on the country your car is from and the features that come with it. So this one, being Australian, has a side and front facing camera. So this one's a little bit more complex to install, so I thought I'd create this to help. Hope you find this helpful. Alrighty, so here is my original MFD screen and here is my updated MFD screen. Main difference here is the old one has two different screens that are sort of low res and the UI is not that great. And the newer one is just one screen, better user interface and everything. The key difference though, for me, being in Australia, is this also has a side view camera that is required to be connected, well, if you want to retain it. Therefore, I need to make sure that this unit retains that feature. On top of that, as an Australian car, this screen also has the ability to have a front-facing camera as well, which was standard in the facelifted generations. So this particular screen is a little bit unique compared to a lot of the ones that you see on YouTube, because if you want to retain or have camera features in this might be the model that you need. So for those of you playing at home, if you want this model, the number is 85263VA010. The 010 is probably the key piece of information that you need. But if you are from Australia or trying to connect your cameras, you might quickly start reading the fine print of the adapters that a lot of websites and eBay and Amazon sell, that they do not work with the camera features of the screen, which means you need to find someone that can build you a more custom cable, which is what I've had to do. And therefore, the reason I'm recording this already half ripped out of the dash is because I've been doing some trial and error, but the good news is we have got there. So let me show you what I've done. So here is the wiring loom adapter that I got handmade for me. I found a guy called Richard through eBay who was creating a series of different wiring looms. And I reached out to Richard and I said, look, I'm Australian and pretty much all of the YouTube videos, all of the products out there seem to be for the model of MFD that doesn't have cameras, and I'm looking for one that can kind of meet all those needs. So I worked with Richard a little bit to get this loom created, and honestly it was a little bit of a gamble. He wasn't 100% sure if it was going to work, so he actually included a few extra bonus wires that you can see I've sort of taped in here, which potentially were contingency plans for in the event that this did not work. But the great news is that it does, so they were not required. Effectively on this loom we have the side camera, the front view camera, and the main wiring loom as well. So for me, I won't actually be using the front wiring loom for now, maybe a project for another day, but this side view camera loom was the important one for me. And I've just taken it all for a test drive and it's all working, so this is why I'm kind of trying to build this video in reverse. So essentially on our new MFD, we just clip this in there, and then these will go to the relevant looms that are in the car. Alright, as I said, I've already kind of ripped my dash out as I did a few trial fits for this part, but if you need a good guide on how to kind of remove your head unit to get into the dash, click this link above and you can have a look at my installation video for my Apple CarPlay or Android Auto head unit by iDoing. I've done a full installation video on that one which will show you what to do. But for now, we've ripped the head unit out, which gives us access to the panels that we need. It's very easy to remove this. It's just a handful of bolts. So let me show you where I'm up to. So as I said, I've already kind of pulled the dashboard out. This is literally just the iDoing Android Apple CarPlay head unit sort of folded down. It's just sitting on top of my gear stick and a rag, and this mess of wires is all related to the head unit. Don't look at that, that's a different install. And as I said, today we're focusing our attention up here. Once you remove the head unit, the only additional piece of work is you remove a panel that is right with where my finger is. You literally just pull that out, and then this literally just comes out with 2 screws. So it's super easy to install. You won't have any trouble if you can make it through all of that. And as I said, we have 2 different plugs that we need to connect into this head unit here, which is where that wiring loom I mentioned comes in. So my wiring loom has 3 plugs. One of those is for a front-facing camera. See that one marked F? We're going to be ignoring that for this install because my car doesn't have a front-facing camera. Maybe one day in the future. But the important part is the S for the side view camera. And effectively, now that I've worked through the gremlins with this loom, we literally just plug it straight in and everything should work. So let's give it a go. All right, we've popped that in. Let's give it a test. So that's pretty much looks all good. Now I will clip the dash back together. Everything's back assembled. Let's give it a moment of truth. So I think most people will leave the boost gauge on, but obviously the user interface is much nicer. And of course, when you do go to camera mode for this unit, the side view camera appears on the left. Because I don't have a front view camera, there is nothing there, but my loom is ready for me to install a factory or OEM front camera unit if I want to. Unfortunately, that does mean that this feature isn't very helpful besides the side view. But, moment of truth, let's just pop it into reverse. There we go. Side view pops up. Rear view pops up on the iDoing head unit. Let's pop it out. Alright, it's back into neutral. This should revert to the menu. There we go. Cool. So this is working perfectly, everybody. Let's just turn the car on. Very good. Just one funny thing that I thought I'd mention is I'm pretty sure that the old unit only allowed you to go up to like the year 2030 or 2032. So it's nice to see Subaru thinks the second generation will last an extra 15 years or so. I still don't understand why it taps out at 2046. Alright, so that's how you upgrade the MFD screen in your Subaru WRX STI. If you want to retain the use of your side camera or bring in a front camera, you need to make sure that you get the right type of loom and also the right type of MFD units. So different looms are out there, different MFD units are out there depending on where they're from, what car they're from and what country they're from. So make sure you get the right one so you aren't left out in the dark. I've left the model number in the video and also put the number in the description as well. So if you need any extra help, I'll drop it in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found it helpful, and we'll see you around for the next video. Cheers.